When I first moved to Slovakia, nobody explained how the public transport works. You know, which apps to use? Do you need to validate your tickets? What happens when an inspector comes and catches you without one? Tips to make the most out of public transport. And of course, what public transport is even available. And well, trust me, making some of these mistakes can be expensive. So in this video, I'll show you exactly how to navigate Slovakia's public transport like a local, so you can avoid the awkward tourist mistakes that I nearly made. Let's talk about the bit nobody warns you about: ticket inspections and fines. Now, whilst ticket inspections don't happen regularly, they do happen. And it's so easy to sometimes forget to buy your ticket or to validate it, which I'll touch on more in a moment. So I have actually had an occasion where I didn't get my ticket. I completely forgot. I don't know why. I think I was distracted, whatever. But ticket inspectors come on board and they asked for my ticket. Of course, I didn't have one, so I had to pay a fine. And fines can be up to €100. If you are caught without a ticket, it can cost you roughly €100. It's an expensive price to pay when you can get a 30-minute ride for €1. And the thing is to mention with these ticket inspectors, they are not wearing official uniform or anything like this. They're very inconspicuous. You'll just think it's another regular person just going onto the bus and just going about their day. Until they suddenly say, "Tickets please," in Slovak, and you're thinking, oh crap, I knew I should have got my ticket. So be sure you get your ticket. With that in mind, let's talk about the public transport that is on offer in Slovakia and Bratislava. So, of course, you have city buses, regional buses, trains, trams, and trolley buses. And depending on where you are and where you want to go, you even use a mixture of these. One thing that really surprised me about first coming to Slovakia, and especially Bratislava, is how much you can do without needing a car. I mean, whilst I recently got a car, I only really use the car when I'm leaving Bratislava. If I'm staying within Bratislava, I don't need it. I just use public transport. So let's talk about tickets. This is probably where most foreigners and most travelers are going to get most confused. If you're looking to come to Bratislava, then you're just maybe coming for a little while, then you have options of like 30-minute passes, 90-minute passes, or of course, you have 24 hours or 72-hour ticket options as well. So if you're planning on staying for some time, it's well worth doing so and getting a longer pass, so then you can really make the most of it. With that said though, if you're planning on actually living in Slovakia rather than just visiting, then it's better to get monthly passes or annual passes. For instance, I got an annual pass for public transport, which entitled me to use the trams, the trolley buses, the buses, and all within Bratislava. And I had that covered for the year. So it has meant unlimited rides and unlimited transfers, everything like this. So for that year, I was fully covered. And it's well worth it because, for instance, the lowest you can get is a 30-minute pass, right? And this costs about €1. And the thing is, if you're getting that every day, it can slowly stack up. Whereas a yearly pass is approximately €250, and then this is unlimited. So once you know that you're going to be using public transport regularly, it definitely makes sense to do the math and check whether a monthly pass or an annual pass might be worthwhile for you. So let's talk about what apps to use when coming to Bratislava or when coming to Slovakia. Well, first you have IDS BK. If you're coming to Bratislava, this app is probably going to be one of your best friends, because you can buy tickets on the app, you can buy passes, and of course you can activate your tickets as well. Now, I'm not sponsored by any of these apps, just to mention, but I do want to talk about them because they made a huge impact for me. So the next one I want to mention is CP. Now, CP is an absolute game changer. And if you're only going to download one app, I recommend it be CP. Because CP combines trains and buses all over the country. You can see in real time the actual buses and the stops. You just have to input the information where you want to go, where you're starting your journey from, and it will give you all the information. Bus times, everything, train times, whatever, everything you possibly need. So it really does make planning your journeys so much easier. If you're looking to travel by train, then ZSSK is going to be perfect for you. This is the Slovak national rail company, so they will have information on trains and everything like this. So if you're planning to travel by rail quite frequently, then this will probably be your go-to. But with that said, let's talk about the etiquette of public transport in Slovakia. So you're more informed of what to expect and how you should behave when traveling in Slovakia. So first and foremost is when people are coming off the train or the bus, you should wait on the side and let them come off. Now, I don't know how it is where you are. Some people will just try and jump on at the same time, but that's not really a thing here, and you should wait for them to come off before you start boarding. Another one is keeping the noise down. So in Slovakia, it's very respectful. People on public transport don't tend to be overly loud or anything like this. So you should keep that in mind and respect those around you. Another one that, well, you would get judged heavily if you don't do so is offering your seat to an elderly person or a parent with a child or anything like this. You should definitely get up and offer that seat to them. Next one I'd say is don't expect everyone in Slovakia or even in Bratislava to speak English. Often on public transport, you might interact with people and you might be lucky that they speak English, but often people won't. So knowing some basic Slovak phrases will go a long way, such as Dobrý deň, prosím, and ďakujem. They will go a long way. So I highly recommend brushing up on some Slovak phrases if you're planning on visiting Slovakia, and certainly if you plan on moving, definitely learn Slovak. Now let's talk about a few tips that can help you when using the public transport here. You can get online tickets for public transport, but they automatically can be validated. But if you're getting a paper ticket, you need to validate them. So with the paper tickets, you can buy them at ticket machines that tend to be at most bus stops, especially in Bratislava that I've noticed. And then when you get on the bus, you will find a ticket validator where you just input your paper ticket and then you'll hear a noise and you know it's validated. And believe me, you must do this, because even if you have a paper ticket and you show this to the inspector but it's not validated, then you can still get a fine. So make sure you validate your tickets. Now, one thing I'll say about mistakes that foreigners make when coming to Slovakia or when visiting is relying on Google Maps for one. So I've noticed this, and I've done this myself, and I've seen others do it as well, is you go on Google Maps, you see how to get to restaurants and different things, you look up the public transport, you get there and you wonder where the bus is. You wonder why it's not the time Google Maps says. I don't recommend going by the times Google Maps says. Go to apps like CP and they will give you the accurate times of the buses. And often you will see boards as well at many bus stations for the specific bus and when they should arrive. That being said, I've really come to appreciate the public transport on offer in Slovakia. I think it's really reliable in the main, affordable, and very practical. And with using the apps and planning ahead, it can really help save you stress on your journey when you look to come to Slovakia, or when you're looking to travel, if you're looking to move, whatever. It can really save you a lot of time and headaches. And that's something I really like about how Slovakia public transport is. It's actually quite manageable and easy once you know what you need to do. So are you planning a visit to Slovakia, or maybe you're planning to move here? Let me know whether you think the tips here and the apps that I've mentioned will be useful to you, or if you think there's anything that I should have mentioned that I didn't, let me know down below. I'd love to get your stories and I'd love to get your experiences as well. And let's try and help out other travelers and other expats or other people looking to come to Slovakia. That being said, if you want to see more videos on life in Slovakia and the growth journey from moving abroad, then feel free to subscribe. And to mention, I will be doing a video in the future about different day trips and how to use the public transport to get to other places in Slovakia outside of Bratislava. So stay tuned to see that video soon. That being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.